Ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate you for making out the time to be here for this press conference. And it's all about Pitch Quest 2025. We are attempting to sell 1,000 plots in 100 days. And so we want to keep you up to speed with how far we have come, the things that we have put in place, and answer whatever questions you have to push to us this morning. Once again, thank you and God bless you. We're going to be doing a formal introduction on the people on the table with me. And so, by my left,
I'm Susan Agolia Esquire, and I am the legal officer of Hexaco. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And on my right,
Okay, my name is Alafonye Queen Emmanuel, a legal professional. I'm the general manager here.
all right, once again, you all know me. My name is Nteiro Cornelius, popularly called the Africa Landlord. I'm the most influential real estate developer in the whole of South, and I happen to be the CEO of Hexaco. Thank you. Please, you can appreciate us now. All right, keeping you up to speed with how far we have come. We currently have about 5 locations. We have Eneka, we have Igritali, we have Isiokbo, we have Chokocho, we have Eleme, that is from Eleme Refinery going to Trailer Park. And we're proud to announce to you that in a quest to expand our territory and do more for you and serve you better, we've been able to collaborate with Rainbow Heritage to join in the construction and development of a 1,000-hectare new port city. You can celebrate that. This city is going to be having in its facilities that is not restricted to just commercial and residential properties. We also have industrial properties, we have agro-business, and we have recreational properties in the same location. And it's going to span across 1,000 hectares of land, table land that you do not have to fill before buying. We will be posting the prices of these properties on our social media handle, on our websites, and every of our contact points that you can find online, whether it is tangible materials or intangible materials. However, the estate comes with prototypes. So if you're buying the land, we're going to present you with a prototype of the kinds of buildings, the signature buildings we want to have there. So this is how far we have come. Most of our properties, we are trying our best to make sure that they come with CFO, Certificate of Occupancies, so that you do not have to chase them anymore. And the ones who do not have CFO, we're working tirelessly on making sure that we make that available for our clients before the end of the 100 days. Is that fine?
Yes.
All right then. Thank you so much. And if you have any other question you want to ask, please, you can step up to the podium, ask your questions, and we'll be here to answer them.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, African landlord and moderator and the panel. So the property at Chokocho, I don't really know the place, so I'd love for a brief description of that particular environment or area. I think this is the first time I'm actually hearing that name, so I can be able to communicate it to our prospect and clients. Thank you.
Chokocho is around the suburb of River State. So we have the core of the city and we have the periphery of the city. Now, Chokocho is around the periphery of the city. You can access Chokocho from Tank. That is from Eleme Junction. If you drive to Tank, from Tank you can drive to Igrita. From Igrita roundabout, you can drive going to Eche, then you get to Chokocho. Chokocho is the first junction you get to before you navigate right to Eche and left to Abara Eche. So around that place. So on your way to Okomoko from Chokocho is where our property is by the right. And it's about 1,400 plots in that particular location. If you want to go from Rukboko, you can go from Rukboko straight to Igrita. When you get to Igrita Junction, you take a car that is going to Chokocho. So that is the location that's where Chokocho is in River State.
Thank you, sir. I've had people ask me that they get a property, right? And they use it for agro-business. Maybe they plant and do all of those cassava farming and get profit from the land.
Okay.
So it's more like land, let me just say like land retailing, but for agro
Business.
purpose. Yes. So is that something that is available for people that think they want to do agribusiness there, but the
Of
company
course.
has...
We're open to having conversations with anybody who wants to venture into agribusiness and probably lease or rent our properties for that. We're open to that. We can have conversations around that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All protocols duly observed. My name is Chinyere Favor, a customer representative. And my question goes like this. I want to purchase a property in River State. I don't reside in River State. How can I go about it?
All right, so I'll just allow our general manager to answer that question.
Okay, good morning. If I got your question clearly, you want to know how you can manage your property if you want to own or if you own a property in River State and you don't reside in River State.
Yes, I'm interested in buying a property in River State, but I don't reside in River State.
Okay. First of all, what I want to know is the purpose for the property. What do you intend to use it for? Is it for development? Is it for residential or for commercial?
Let's say for commercial. I
Okay,
can
so we're
buy
just saying
and
you just want
resell.
to buy a land
Yes, and keep.
in River State.
Yes.
And keep. That is for land banking.
Yes.
Okay. That's why we are here. That's why you're buying from us, a real estate company. Zandoni precisely. If you are interested in owning property, us will get the location for you, the precise location that you are interested in. We acquire the property for you, or you get it from us if it's part of our estate, and we could help you manage the property until you're interested in reselling. And even when you want to resell, you can also contact us. We'll have our consent forms. You fill out the consent form for us, and then we help you to resell.
Okay, so in addition to what she has just said,
Okay.
I'm guessing you want to know clearly, step-by-step approach on how to purchase a property in River State whilst you're not in River State. However, we have virtual videos that can explain better where these properties are and what the geophysical topography of the property looks like. So you can reach us via maybe our customer experience lines. You can call any of our customer experience representative. They will take you through our client onboarding process. You can visit our website, www.zandoni.app or www.empire.app, and you can fill in the subscription form or the purchase form. You put in your name, you select the location you want. This is after you've had a full understanding of where our locations are, the plot size, and what the environment looks like. So in some cases, for people who are not in River State and they do not want to bank on the credibility we've built and the integrity we've built over the years, they could send a friend who lives in the city to come to our office, and we take the person there for an inspection.
Okay.
So the person can see it physically and know that, okay, this is not an audio land. And then after that, the person can proceed to go to the website. And because you do not have to send money to a cousin, to a brother, to a friend to pay on your behalf. We've had instances where someone sent money for somebody to pay on his behalf, and the person did not pay the money. And the person broke the money down and used some to do business and negotiated to pay over a long period of time, but could not complete the instrumental payment. So what we've done is to bridge that gap by creating our website, and it is automated to generate your invoice for you immediately. And you can make your payment, upload your proof of payment. We can confirm the payment from the office, and your documentation will be on the way to being ready. This is how we go, step-by-step approach. If you're not in Nigeria, you can send a friend to come for inspection. If you cannot send a friend, we could send you videos of the property. However you want it, you get to understand exactly where you are. But what gives us joy more as a company is that most persons who have bought properties from us, who are in diaspora, have done so without even coming to check out the property. And at any point they come back and they see the property, they are happy with what they got. So this is how we go about our client onboarding process.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
My second question goes like this. if I want to check the property of Zandoni on River State Google Map, can I find it? Like, I put the description on Google Map to check the place. Can I find it on the map?
Okay, so first off, I'll need to correct the impression that it is not River State Google Map that handles checking of property. So it's land registry, right? Yes, it's land registry. You could go and chart it. You can chart the property.
So maybe you did not get my question correctly.
Okay.
So I was talking to a client. So the client was like, and I mentioned the property, the one of 40 million. He said, okay, since it's within Port Harcourt, if I put the location on the map, will it show? Like if I put Newport City on the map, will I get
Okay,
yes.
okay. On Google Map.
Yes.
Okay, if it has been registered as a geolocation on Google Map,
Yes.
right? Yes. Oh, yes. Of course, it should show. Yes, it should. For anyone that does not show, Bright Baridakara will help us make sure that it shows the next time you check. Yes, but we try as much as possible to register most of our properties. Like Kings Court was registered, I think Queens Villa was registered on Google Map, and so you can actually we register the location. So if you search for Newport City, it must show.
Okay.
Yes, it must show.
All right, my third question. How is the security of Zandoni property? Hope if I purchase a property today and I want to keep my property for 10 years, how is the security of the property like? Is there any measures to the security of your properties?
That's why we're working tirelessly on making sure that every property we own and resell to clients will eventually have a CFO, a certificate of occupancy. We're consistently working on that to make sure that all our properties have CFO. That is, as I would like Barrister Susan to throw more light on what the guarantee around the CFO looks like. Speaking to the mic.
Well, owning a CFO is like should I use the word surest? I'm not a fan of using the word surest, but let's use the word for the purpose of today's conversation. Is the surest guarantee that you can have that someone is the actual owner of a property. So when someone gives you a CFO on a property, all things being equal, it means that the person is the government recognized owner of that property. And even the government, of course, recognizes that person. So I have a CFO, it means there's no other person anywhere that owns the land apart from me. That's like your biggest form of guarantee. So are you asking if the company, you're certain that the company's land is safe? Yes, it's going to be safe. But I'm worried that your question was bordered on security.
Yes.
As in someone else coming to own the property.
Exactly.
That I
Or
suspected that was the
someone
question
be
you were
like, it's
trying
my
to ask.
property or this.
But the beautiful thing about buying, just as DGM was trying to say, the beautiful thing about buying land from a real estate company is that you don't get to have this hassle and headache of, is my land safe? Is someone going to come and take my land? Will somebody encroach? Will somebody go past the person's boundary? Most of those things don't happen when you buy property from a real estate company. They usually happen when you buy property from the villagers or the traditional owners, the individuals. That's when you have those challenges. But because when you buy land from a real estate company, it is parceled, it is portioned, it is having all the necessary landmarks, everybody stays within their boundary. And because more often than not, when a real estate company is selling, it's mostly in an estate format with proper layout system. Everybody stays within their boundary and your land is definitely safe. You know, you can always walk into the real estate company and make your inquiries and you'll be taken. Let me speak for us. You can always walk into our office and you'll be taken to your location. Even if you forget, after a couple of years, you come with your documents. We'll just take it and show you where your location is.
All right, thank you so much for your time today. I'll be right back.
Thank you. We're done with that. Next person.
Yes, good morning, moderator. My name is Mary Bob Manuel. I want to ask a question concerning our documentation. Some time ago, you made mention of deed of conveyance. And at Zandon, we don't give C of O because I came to understand that C of O is given to a property owned by the government. So now you're making mention of C of O, that you're working tirelessly to get C of O for each of our properties. Why is that coming up now? Like, we are not giving it out before. And talking to people, because most people, when you talk to, they will ask you, is your company giving C of O? And we said, no, we don't give C of O. why, and we give them our reasons. And now CFO is coming up. So I want to know the sudden change of the documentation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for that question. Without why we have not been given CFO, and now CFO is coming up in our conversations.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. No problems. I'll just allow our legal head to handle that question.
Okay, so just as you said, CFO is, okay, let me correct the impression first. You said CFO is given or is for government-owned land. That's not correct. CFO is given by the government to the owner of the land to show that that person has the authority from the government to own that land. That is what it means. That person is a recognized owner of the land by the government. And yes, a company cannot give you CFO. CFO comes from the government. And it is only the governor that can give you CFO. So when the CEO said that we are working on getting a CFO, it is not working on getting CFO for an individual that buys land from the company. Okay. That's the responsibility of that individual. What the CEO meant was that we are working on getting CFO for all our land, all our estates, that we own the land. So people don't get afraid of whether or not there are going to be land grabbers that will come and take some part of their land. If you have CFO to show that you are the owner of this land, when a land grabber comes, you can prove it anywhere that you are the owner of the land. That is what he meant. Do you understand?
So it's not a document given to clients?
No. Right. It is just a surety for clients. When they know that you have a CFO for this property, everybody goes home and relax. Somebody feels more comfortable to buy the land from you because that property has a CFO.
All right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Now, let me add to that. So most of the lands we purchased in times past, we bought them from the locals. They are customarily owned lands. And so most of the times what the locals give to us is deed of conveyance. However, every business must grow. We stayed within the confinement of giving out deed of conveyance at the time. And so at that time, when clients come, we tell them we do not have CFO for now. But now the company has grown to a point where we want to start getting CFO for our property. I think it should be giving you joy that we are at that level right now, right?
Like the property,
okay,
that is having a CFO, that property is being owned for a period of time.
Yes.
Before it's 100, now it's 99 years, a period of 99 years. So if we start giving out, for example, to our clients, that document, does it mean that the property they are purchasing from us is not like their own forever? They're not going to have it permanently, like they're going to own it for a period of time.
Okay. So first off, okay, there's the sad truth about real estate is that nobody, no human being can own a land. No human being owns any land. Nigeria. Yes. So you are just a custodian of the property for the time being, and mostly for 99 years. And after that, it's supposed to be returned back to the people who holds it down instead of the citizens, right? That's the government.
Back to the government.
Yes, I think there's an Italian maxim for that.
There are Latin maxims.
Latin maxims. Yeah. So I don't know, it's Eparato, but that's it. Nobody owns any land, so it's mostly for 99 years, and after that, it's supposed to be handed back to the government. The government can now decide to renew your CFO or revoke it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think Barrister Queen wants to add to that.
Okay. In addition to what the MD just said, as a general rule, of course, the governor, the state, owns every land in the state. Now, when the governor gives CFO to an individual, it is expected that the person will own that land for 99 years, like you already know, meaning that CFO is revocable after 99 years. After 99 years, the person is expected to go back and renew the CFO.
Okay.
But most at times, it doesn't work that way. People don't really go back to renew.
go down
But
die.
Am I right?
You would have
Do
died
they?
now. You cannot live for 99. If I
That
buy
is
land
why-
at this age, 99 years later, I will be dead.
That is why.
You will not die in Jesus' name.
That is why most times when you see people fighting over a plot or a piece of land, they will fight for a number of time. The matter, of course, is in court. After some years, the people who were struggling for this property will die. Their children will come up and take it up
Continue.
from there. So most at times, the 99 years doesn't even get to elapse. Some other person will come up to own that property. So as the children are coming to own, they are going to own for another 99 years.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I beg to
She's not
reiterate
satisfied.
that. Yes, I beg to reiterate that. So most of the times, the thing is, when the C of O has 99 years on it, I just want to clear you on this. When the C of O has, in addition to what she said, when the C of O has 99 years on it, for example, I bought a property from a landlord, and he had 99 years on the C of O, and he has been with the property for about 33 years. And so what was remaining for me to use was
60,
about
60,
57
60,
years or so. 57 years. Do you get? That was what was remaining. If I use it for another 10 years and I give it to another person, the person will use it for
For the
40
remaining one.
something. If that person uses it for 40 years and hand it over to his children, it will remain in 7 years. So most of the times too, when you want to buy a property, it's important to ask, how old is this C of O?
Yeah.
So the C of O might have been for 65 years or 70 years. Just know in your head that in the next 39 years, you should be working on renewing that C of O. Some of the C of O's have been there since 1970
Yes.
something, and it's like about 80 years old. Just know that in the next
20.
18
19
years,
years.
19 years, you should be working on renewing the C of O. So it is not just about saying this land has C of O and I want to buy it. How long is the C of O? How many years did they give you for the C of O? And then there's a tenancy that is being paid for every C of O. Yeah, it's called land rent, grand rent.
Grand rates.
Yes.
I think that people call it
That you
tenement
pay
rate.
for every C of O. So you need to know, is this person owing the government?
Yeah.
Because there's a particular number of years that the person will owe the government. The government have every right to revoke that C of O. So you need to know the status of the C of O before you buy a property. For us, we go at every length to make sure that we give you perfect documents.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it's only the government that can issue CFO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe if your pastor can, you let us know.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I'm going to be very brief here. Good morning, African landlord.
Good morning.
And good morning, beautiful ladies sitting with African landlord. My name is Wogo Harry Wisdom, and of course, I'm the Red Chairman. I have a question, and my question goes thus. Peradventure, I own the property. I bought the property from the company, and let's say 50 years later, I'm no longer there. Maybe I've passed on, and my children inherited the property. And then there comes an issue on the property. Let's say land grabbers came and then collected this land from my children. Is there a clause in your document that protects my children or a third party from
The loss that comes
the
with
loss that comes with it? Would the company be responsible to say they will replace, or is there any way, any form of protection for, the property?
that. Okay. I don't know if you would like to answer. I should go ahead and answer.
Go ahead and answer.
Okay. So there are questions that only I can answer. And I'm delighted to be the answerer of this one.
Thank you.
Good. So first off, the authenticity of any property is embedded in the documentation.
Okay.
Like we said, if we have a general C of O on a particular property that is supposed to span across 99 years. However, you could note that in most cases, the moment the deed of conveyance had been done, we have conveyed ownership and we have conveyed the ability to protect that property, develop that property into your hands.
Okay.
In most cases, we are not supposed to play any part in whatever happens, as long as we give you a good title. However, our business has been structured in such a way that it must live and outlive every single person that is in the business right now. So at any point, your family has any issue, that is, if it ever happens, the company will always be there to stand in to make sure that that effect or that impact does not get negatively to your family as a whole. However, since it's a company that is growing rapidly, we can always think of ways to mitigate the challenges that comes with that in the long run. We could either relocate the family to a different property whilst we work on this one to make sure that we clear off that case, or we could discuss refund with the family at the time being. Whatever the case, we guarantee that the family will not bear the loss of that particular act alone. We would always stand by you at all costs.
Okay.
That's how far we
So,
can.
African, you are telling me that there is a clause, let's say the indemnity clause in the document that you give.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Why not?
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
That answers my question.
You're welcome. Don't
Good
touch
morning.
it. Yes.
Good morning, African Landlord.
Good morning.
Panelists. Okay, my question is, I believe there are strategic locations or positions rather on table land, no matter the size. And let me just use a reference. African Landlord, you want to get maybe an acre
Okay.
on a particular property. Maybe the front area.
Okay.
And someone has gotten a plot, but the person is paying instrumentally, has not finished payment.
Okay.
And that particular plot is supposed to be with the acre you want to buy.
Okay.
And you're buying from a company. What is the company's approach? Like concerning that one plot that's
Okay.
So
Whether
that's-
we just forcefully relocate the person to another place, or is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. So most of the times when a client wants to buy our properties, we'll take you to the site or we'll show you the layout and we'll tell you this place has been bought, this place has been bought, this place has been bought. If you say you want to buy 1 acre, we're going to look around where we can get 1 acre for you. Okay? If for any reason you say, no, I want to buy around this particular place, there's always room to negotiate with the owner of the property.
Okay.
We could say, is it expedient that you must be in this particular location? If the owner says, no, I don't have a problem with you moving me, as long as it's the same one plot and it's within the estate, which most often than not is not an issue. Our clients will always say, you know what, it's still the same estate, move me so that this person can do what he wants to do here. Do you understand? That can be negotiated for. Some of them too can say, if you're moving me, tell me what you're going to give me in return. Because for me, this is inconvenience. I took my wife here last month. I'll now bring her and say it's not here again, it's the next place. It can cause issues. Let me be able to take her out after that so that she's happy. So find me something. So we can actually negotiate for that. But we do not forcefully move clients and say whether you like it or not, we've moved you. No, we don't do that.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Morning, African Landlord.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barrister Queen, Barrister Susan. Okay, my name is Emmanuel, aka Miki Eze Kwekwe1 of Ezako. Okay, my question goes like this. The other day I was speaking with somebody. She said her dad had properties in Abuja before he died. So, and they can't really locate the properties. And some of the real estate that sold the properties to them can't even call them, to let them know that their dead parent had
Yes.
stuff like that. So my question is, in a situation where we have clients who want to buy, and then in the long run the person dies, so how do we intend to, relate to the dead person's children, to let them know that we have?
Okay, I would like Barrister Queen to answer the question. After that, Barrister Susan will do justice to it.
Okay.
Okay. We started selling officially in Port Harcourt in 2020, and we've had series of clients. Most of them are no longer in touch with us. But recently, I've had clients call to tell me, hey, Barrister Queen, your people called me, and the way they spoke to me, I was happy. I've even forgotten that I even did business with you people. But someone called me from your office. So for us at Zandoni Empire, we often keep in touch with our clients. We have our customer representatives on ground. You see, they call our clients often. They call them every now and then to know how they are doing, to
Know who
stay
is
in
late.
their minds, so that they know that we still care about them. So if for any reason a client that bought from us is no longer in touch with us, maybe because the person lost his phone or her phone, or something happened to his
Lost their
or
lives.
her line, or their lives anyway. If we call, if the line is still going through, of course, their family members will take the calls and we'll get to interact with them.
And I see it bought from your company, can you take me to the location so that I can know where my parent bought? Any company, or we will do that. Let me speak for my company. I don't know of any other one, but I want to believe that in good faith, almost any company would honor that. If it shows that you have the deed of conveyance, they'll show you where, and you can prove that the person is actually late and that you are the person's child. The company will most
What if
likely.
the person that buys the land wants it to be confidential?
Okay, so let me come in there. Let's liken this to opening an investment account with a bank,
Yeah.
and you have gone to be with the Lord or whoever you believed you wanted to be with after death. It is not in the place of the company to reach out to the family to say, your brother bought a property from us. First, there should be a will from your brother that confers on you the power of attorney to take possession of the property. And even if you come to our office with a deed of conveyance, we'll probably not even look at your face, except there is a backing document saying we have given it to, because anybody can steal your deed of conveyance and bring it to the office and say, this is my property. So our advice most of the times, that's why I go beyond just helping you buy property. We also look at the transitioning process in case you are no more. The question is now, in most of our, if you were buying property for investment purpose from us, most of the times we'll say put a next of kin, because we want to know who should come on your behalf if something goes wrong. So let's imagine you're in coma. Your wife cannot just pick your deed of conveyance, come to the office and say, my husband is in coma, sell it for me so that we can use it to treat him. That cannot work with us. So we need a backing document, a legal document that says we have handed the power of attorney to this person to act on behalf or in behalf, right, of the client if anything should go wrong. Then we can now look, our legal team can now work on the transitioning process of moving the ownership from the deceased to whoever should be in charge of it. It is not in our place to say, hey, we heard that your brother died though, please come and collect, his land is with us. No, he has to make sure he works on that. Most persons have lost their assets in life because they didn't think of transition. So that's the thing.
All right, sir.
We are very big on client confidentiality. We don't even tell people, hey, it's also person bought land from us. We don't do that. It's how it works for us. All right.
All right, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
so in addition to what they said, that is why we also advise that when you're coming for your documentation, to pick your documents with us, that you come with someone.
Okay.
Yes, you come with someone that will sign as your witness, so that if for any reason something happens, that person, may be a friend or a family member, will be able to reach out to us.
Good morning, African landlord.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay.
Regarding the C of O, you say that it's given by the government.
Yes.
What are like the steps to getting the C? Is there a process to getting the C of O?
Okay, yes, there's a process for getting C of O. First off, I wouldn't want to talk so much into it. It appears to be more technical than just a theory thing. But first off, you will need a certificate of deposit. That is to show that the property is free from every encumbrance or every form of interest from the government. It is free from. It's not government acquired or government marked properties for either public use or any other thing. So you need a certificate of deposit, which is going to guarantee you having beacon numbers on the property. If the government does not give you beacon numbers, it means that the property is either marked for government use or future use by the government. The moment you're able to get that, you can now proceed to applying for a C of O. Through mostly a licensed surveyor who can do that for you on your behalf. You can now proceed. After you must have charted the property, you must have applied for beacon numbers. You now have beacon numbers. You can move ahead to apply for C of O. You make the necessary payment, and the process is mostly an automated one. They just take you from one step to the next one. They just tell you the next thing you get, and after that, the governor is able to sign off the C of O for you.
Okay.
But it takes time a bit. But with our help, we can facilitate that process and make it easy for you. So we don't want you to be thinking on how to apply for the C of O. Just tell us you need a C of O, and then we'll do the rest. Our Land and Property Investigation Department will handle the rest for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
I have another question.
Okay, shit.
How are you sure, if I buy a property in this area, like the way Eneka is now, let me say 9 years ago, it was not like that. So how are you sure, when I come to buy a land now in Eneka, how are you sure that it will increase in value over this period of time? Because there are other estates Queen's Park Estate.
Yes.
There are other estates like that did not develop. They are still the way it was 9 years ago. So how are you sure that it will increase in value or those?
Okay, so most of the times we make the mistake of feeling that physical development will be directly proportional to the increase in value of a property, which is very wrong. The same Queen's Park you're talking about, I know when my uncle bought Queen's Park for 3 million naira for a plot. I know when some form of land grabbing was happening around Queen's Park, and I went with him to the property to check out the property. Fast forward to now, currently you can't even get a plot of land in Queen's Park for 20 million naira. It's now going for as high as 25 million, 30 million for a plot. In some cases, you could get for 18 million if it's under distress sale. Moving from 2.5 million, 3 million naira to 18 million naira in less than 5 years. So whether the property is increasing whether it has some physical signs of development on the property or not, as long as people keep buying properties in River State, these places will continue to increase in value. So, for example, when we started selling Eneka Army Range, we were selling for as low as 700,000, 1 million naira. Currently, Eneka Army Range in some places you could get for 7 million, you could get for 10 million, you could get for 11 million, as high as that. But physical structures have not really been erected on the place so far. So most of the times we don't tie the increase in value of a property just to the physical structures that are there. We tie it to the level of demand on property acquisition within the state. So you can see that River State, the core of the city, is becoming congested. A lot of persons are moving to the suburbs, to the periphery of the city. It is boosting the demand on those places, and so the prices will continue to go up. Secondly, before we buy a property, we look at the master plan of the state. we say, okay, there's a ring road construction that is happening now. The moment this ring road construction is completed, movement around this particular area is going to be swift. So people can move. So some factors we look out for before we sell a property is travel time. Travel time is how long will it take me to move from where this property is to the center of the city in case I'm coming for business. Let's say I'm going to Government House. How long is it going to take me to move from this place to Government House? Let's say I'm leaving the state. How long will it take me to move from here to the boundary between the state and another state? So the travel time becomes a determining factor as to whether we should buy and sell a particular location. It is not so. When we look at factors that will ensure the increase in value of a property, it is not just physical construction on the property. Time value is one. The geophysical topography is another one. Is it a place that we can start developing and not have to do a lot of filling, a lot of land reclamation before we develop? And after, of course, I talked about time travel, and heterogeneity is another thing. We want to look at the place and say, it is not just one language in the place. We have diverse languages in that place, which is going to decrease communal clashes, riots in the community, because now you have multiple languages. And because you have multiple languages, a lot of persons who do businesses with different mindsets will bring in things there that will help the place boost in price. Most times, these things are seamless. You don't see them. But in 7-year time, you turn around and you are like, so when we bought our Queen's Villa around Eneka, we saw that the ring road was going to cut through Queen's Villa. So we bought Queen's Villa. And at the time we were buying, it was about, I think, 800 and something thousand, 1.2 million at the time. Currently, you can't even get large bulk of land to buy for 2 million or 3 million again. So these are the things we look out for. And our land and property investigation department will always go ahead to come up with research works, recommendations on best places to buy and develop.
Thank you.
So we are 120% sure that anywhere we buy must develop and increase in value. Thank you very much. Okay, so first off, we just want to give you the guarantee that we are dedicated to serving you better. We will be waiting for your feedbacks. Our customer experience lines will be displayed on the screen and on all our social media handles. You can call us at any time for further information, for inquiries. However, we were looking at doing projects not just for the now, but beyond legacy. We want to plant trees, the shades of which we know we might never have to sit in. God bless you for your time, and thank you.